Have you ever opened your freezer, spotted a frozen banana resting quietly behind bags of ice and leftovers, and wondered how something so soft, sweet, and fresh could turn into something solid, cold, and creamy at the same time? Because frozen bananas feel simple, almost boring. Yet once you really look closer, you realize there's a quiet journey behind them that most people never think about, a journey that begins far away under warm sunlight and ends in complete silence inside a freezer. And this story starts not in your kitchen, but in tropical lands where banana plants stretch their wide green leaves toward the sky, drinking sunlight all day long and turning it into energy. Bananas do not grow on trees the way many people believe. They grow on giant plants with thick stems. And from the center of these plants hang heavy bunches of bananas, sometimes hundreds at once, growing slowly over weeks as farmers watch carefully. Because bananas are sensitive, they react to heat, rain, wind, and time. And unlike many fruits, bananas are never meant to ripen on the plant, because if they did, they would become too soft to survive the journey to stores and homes. So farmers harvest bananas while they are still green, firm, and full of starch, not sugar. And this moment is important because green bananas are strong, they resist bruising, they hold their shape, and they can travel long distances without falling apart. Once harvested, bananas are moved quickly into shaded areas where they are washed gently to remove dirt and insects, sorted by size and quality, and packed into boxes that allow airflow. Because even after being picked, bananas are still alive in a way, still breathing, still changing, still reacting to their environment. From the farm, bananas travel in refrigerated containers on ships and trucks, kept cool but not frozen. Because cold temperatures slow down ripening, holding the bananas in a paused state where time almost stops. During this long journey, bananas remain green, hard, and starchy, waiting for the signal that tells them it is finally time to change. When bananas reach their destination, whether it is a distribution center, factory, or grocery supplier, something interesting happens behind closed doors because bananas are moved into special ripening rooms where temperature, humidity, and natural gases are carefully controlled. And one gas in particular, called ethylene, plays a big role because bananas naturally release ethylene as they ripen, and when exposed to it in the right amount, the ripening process begins evenly and gently. Inside these rooms, bananas slowly turn from green to yellow. Starch inside them transforms into natural sugar, the flesh softens, and that familiar sweet banana smell fills the air. And this stage is where frozen bananas begin to separate themselves from ordinary bananas because timing matters more than people realize. Freezing bananas too early means they taste flat and bland, while freezing them too late means they become mushy and watery. So the perfect frozen banana is made when the banana is fully yellow, sometimes with small brown spots, because those spots are signs of high sugar content and deep flavor. This is a secret many smoothie lovers know, but few understand, because sweetness is not added later, it is created naturally by time. Once bananas reach the perfect ripeness, they are peeled, because banana peels serve no purpose once frozen and can add bitterness, and peeling must be done carefully to avoid bruising the soft flesh underneath. Some bananas are left whole, others are sliced into rounds or chunks depending on how they will be used later. And this step matters because size affects freezing speed, and freezing speed affects texture. As soon as bananas are exposed to air, another quiet process begins called oxidation, where oxygen reacts with the banana's surface, causing it to turn brown. And while this does not make the banana unsafe, it does affect appearance and sometimes taste. So many producers lightly treat banana pieces with lemon juice or natural vitamin C to slow browning without changing flavor. This is not a trick, it is protection, a way of respecting the fruit and keeping it looking as fresh as it tastes. Now comes the most important part of the story, the freezing itself. Because freezing bananas is not just about making them cold, it is about controlling ice. And ice is powerful. When fruit freezes slowly, large ice crystals form inside the cells, breaking their structure, which is why thawed fruit can feel mushy and watery. But when fruit freezes quickly, small ice crystals form instead, locking everything in place like a photograph, preserving texture, flavor, and nutrients. In large facilities, bananas move through blast freezers where extremely cold air freezes them in minutes, stopping time almost instantly. While at home, people spread banana slices in a single layer on trays, so they freeze evenly instead of clumping together. This small detail makes a huge difference, because bananas frozen in piles freeze unevenly, creating soft centers and icy edges, while evenly spaced bananas freeze cleanly and smoothly. Once frozen solid, bananas change in a special way, because while their texture becomes hard, their flavor becomes concentrated. Their sugars remain intact, and their nutrients stay locked inside, waiting to be released. Frozen bananas can last for months, sometimes longer, without losing much quality, making them one of the most practical frozen fruits in the world. And when used, frozen bananas behave differently than fresh ones, because when blended, they turn creamy and thick, almost like ice cream. without any dairy, sugar, or additives, which is why frozen bananas are the base of many healthy desserts and smoothies. This creamy texture comes from the banana's natural structure and sugar content, not magic. And this is what surprises people the most, because they expect something icy, but instead they get something smooth and rich. Frozen bananas are also popular because freezing does not destroy most nutrients, meaning potassium, fiber, and natural energy remain available, making frozen bananas both convenient and healthy. Athletes use them for recovery smoothies, parents use them for kids' snacks, and home cooks use them for baking, because frozen bananas can be thawed and mashed for banana bread, pancakes, and desserts. Even the act of thawing bananas tells another part of the story, because as they thaw, the broken cell walls release liquid, creating a soft texture perfect for baking, but not for fresh eating, which is why frozen bananas are rarely eaten plain once thawed. Every stage has its purpose. Every change has a reason. And when you finally take a frozen banana out of the freezer, whether on a hot day or for a late-night smoothie, you are not just grabbing fruit. You are holding the end of a long journey that began under tropical sun, passed through careful harvesting, controlled ripening, precise timing, and rapid freezing, all to preserve something simple and natural. Frozen bananas teach us that good food is not always about adding more, but about knowing when to stop time, when to slow it down, and when to let nature do its work. They remind us that behind even the most ordinary freezer item is a story of patience, science, and respect for ingredients. And once you understand that, the next time you hear the quiet crack of a frozen banana breaking into pieces, you are no longer just cooking. You are completing a journey that started far away, one that only needed the right moment to be frozen in place.